Welcome to our deep dive. Today, we're tackling the ageless brain, how to sharpen and protect your mind for a lifetime.
That's the brand new one from Dr. Dale Bredesen, right? Just came out March 2025.
Exactly, a New York Times bestseller already. And look, if you're thinking about staying sharp, maybe you've got some family history that worries you.
Or even just noticing a bit of brain fog sometimes, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really for you. Our goal here is to, cut through it all and pull out the key insights from Dr. Bredesen's approach to preventative brain health.
Right. And many will know Dr. Bredesen from his previous book, The End of Alzheimer's. He got a lot of attention for showing some pretty remarkable results clinically and actually reversing symptoms.
He did, a real pioneer in that area.
But this new book, The Ageless Brain, it takes all that science, all that rigor, but shifts the focus. It's all about prevention now.
Okay, prevention. That's a key shift.
Definitely. And one of the first things that jumps out is his idea that cognitive decline isn't monolithic. It's not just one thing.
What do you mean?
Well, he identifies several different, let's call them subtypes, of cognitive decline, each one potentially having different root causes, different drivers.
That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, we've seen incredible progress in managing other chronic diseases.
Oh, absolutely. Think about heart disease, obesity, even many cancers. The approaches have become much more targeted, much more preventative over the years.
But these neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia, they felt like a tougher nut to crack.
They really have. And the statistics are, frankly, quite sobering. You mentioned over 6 million Americans with Alzheimer's right now.
Yeah, and projected to hit maybe 13 million by 2050. It's staggering. Plus, you hear more about diagnoses in younger adults these days.
That's true. It's not just an old person's disease anymore. And we know women are at a higher risk as well. 1 in 10 over 65 with dementia generally. About 22% of older adults with some cognitive impairment. It's widespread.
It really is. There's often this feeling of, inevitability, especially if it runs in your family, right?
Exactly. And that's precisely the mindset Dr. Bredesen is challenging head on. He argues that this idea that it's unavoidable or that our traditional ways of thinking about it are sufficient, that's actually held us back.
So what's his alternative then in the ageless brain?
He lays out a proactive program based on the latest research. And a key piece right at the start is understanding your own individual risk factors.
Like genetics.
Yes, genetics plays a role. He specifically talks about the importance of knowing your APOE gene status, particularly the APOE4 variant, which is a known risk factor for Alzheimer's.
Why is knowing that so important for prevention?
Because knowing your status, whether you carry that gene variant or not, can really help tailor your specific preventative strategy. It informs the approach.
Okay, so this isn't just a generic eat your blueberries and do crossword puzzles kind of advice then.
No, definitely not. While those things, diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, are absolutely crucial, and he goes into detail on specific recommendations, it's much more personalized. It's about identifying your individual vulnerabilities, your potential drivers of decline, and targeting those.
Right, like those subtypes you mentioned earlier.
Precisely. So, for example, someone whose primary issue might be related to inflammation, what he calls the inflammatory subtype, would need to focus intensely on things like gut health, identifying and removing sources of chronic inflammation.
Whereas someone else
Might have issues related to, say, hormonal imbalances or exposure to specific toxins. Their plan would look quite different, focusing on optimizing hormone levels or detoxification protocols. It's tailored.
Okay, this is really clicking now. It's not one size fits all. It's about looking under the hood for each person, figuring out what might go wrong for them.
And then building a specific plan to stop it from happening. Or at least significantly delay it.
That feels much more empowering than just waiting and hoping, doesn't it?
It really does. He's fundamentally shifting the narrative away from, it's just bad luck, or it's all in your genes, nothing you can do.
Yeah.
He provides a science-backed framework.
A framework for taking control, really, throughout your life.
Throughout your entire life, yes. He argues that prevention shouldn't wait until you're 60 or 70. Ideally, this starts much, much earlier.
So let's summarize the core message here. Dr. Bredesen in The Ageless Brain is essentially presenting a revolutionary, science-based program for prevention.
Correct. A preventative program designed to help you maintain cognitive health across your lifespan.
And crucially, he's arguing that neurodegenerative decline is not inevitable. even for people with genetic predispositions like APOE4.
That's the really hopeful part. It offers a path forward, and it makes the book relevant for a really wide audience, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Whether you're, just wanting to stay as sharp as possible for as long as possible,
Or if you have that family history weighing on your mind.
or even if you're starting to notice those subtle early changes and want to be proactive, it seems to cover all those bases.
It really does aim to.
Okay, so here's a final thought for everyone listening. Given everything we've just discussed, these advances in understanding, these potential strategies for prevention, what new questions does this spark for you personally?
Yeah, what about your own long-term brain health and well-being?
What specific steps, maybe small ones to start, might you think about exploring now based on this? Definitely some food for thought.